What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here, for coming back. Today we will be talking about my birth story while prepping my skin for the day. So I just moisturized with my Urban Skin RX, and this is their glowing moisturizer. I love this thing, it's so refreshing. And then I'm going to add my sunscreen, the Black Girl sunscreen. So I remember I woke up that Friday morning at like 7 a.m. super early, and I woke up in so much pain, but they were like coming and going, coming and going. So I laid down. It felt like a cramp, like a period cramp, and I get really bad periods, so I understand why it would feel like that for me, you know. But it kept coming and going, coming and going, and I said to Ian, I said, I don't know, like I'm feeling pain, and he's like, I think he was still just sleepy. All right, Dad, just lay down, man, just lay down. So I'm like, all right. So I lay down for about an hour, and then at about 8 o'clock, I wake up, man. I said, no, man, this don't feel right, and it became more consistent. So I went into the bathroom, and because I kept feeling like I needed to pee as well. So I went into the bathroom, and I was just sitting there, and one man saying, "Oh, I just called the labor and delivery nurse." So I called the labor and delivery nurse, and she was asking me a series of questions. So I'm going to start with my milk primer here, Hydro Grip primer. So she was asking me like, "Are you bleeding? Are you seeing any like abnormal discharge?" Stuff like that. So I was like, "No, I'm not bleeding or anything like that, but I'm in pain." So she said, all right, if you want to, she said, if you see any bleeding and you want to come in to get checked, come on in, we will check you, that's no problem. Just know that if you are less than 4 centimeters dilated, we have to send you home. I said, send home who? Like, I didn't say that, but in my head, I'm like, send home who? In a this level of pain? You're crazy. So probably like 10 minutes later, went to pee again, and this time I started bleeding. Why am I called woman I cry? I called her, I'm bleeding, is something wrong with my baby? She was like, why would you think something's wrong with your baby? You know, it's probably just your cervix opening up. And I'm like, just crying. And she's like, okay, just come on in, we will check you, but just remember what I said, if you're not 4 centimeters dilated, we have to send you home. Such a job. Same time, Ian came in the bathroom and he turned the shower on. He's like, probably a warm shower will help you. Don't worry about it. So it did. I went in there, stood in the shower, and it felt great. I won't even lie. The warm shower felt really great. So anyways, it was time to come out. And I'm like, oh my god, like me can't do this. So we got dressed, and on our way there, I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. Guys, I was having contractions in Starbucks drive-thru. Really went to Starbucks while I was having contractions. It's okay though. I was hungry. And in the back of my mind, I said, no, when you reach them, now I'm going to make you eat. So I'm going to eat from now. So got the Starbucks, got to the hospital, and I gave birth to her at the hospital that I work at. So I'm not going to do any brows. I have nothing major doing today. I'm just, you know, told myself I'm looking presentable at home. So when I got there, we got the wheelchair, and Ian is so like, he's following protocol, like you get, you know, the ID and for the wheelchair. I work there, so I knew the lady. I'm like, she's like, it's okay, just go. So when we went upstairs, they were like, oh, Miss Shan, we were expecting you, let's go this way. They took me to our room, changed me into a gown, and got me set up with all the monitors. So I had on the blood pressure cuff, I had on the finger thing for my oxygen and pulse and all that, and then they put up a monitor on my belly for the baby. So anyways, we're there, and me I tell you, pain lick me, you know. I'm grabbing onto the bed rails like, ugh. So the nurse was like, "Are you thinking of doing an epidural?" I said, "Yeah, me, no." No epidurals. I told myself I'm gonna go all natural. I want a natural birth. So yeah, no epidurals. So anyways, she was like, "Okay, no problem. It is protocol. We have to do a COVID test. So I'm gonna perform that now." So I'm like, "All right, cool, no problem." Why did this lady let me throw up all my Starbucks? The same Starbucks with me there count pan enough for who and me till I have the baby, you know. This lady let me throw up all my Starbucks. I was so mad. I was so mad. So mad. So anyways, after that, she was like, "Okay, we have to start an IV." And she put the IV in and left. They had a meeting, so she left. Anyways, my arm felt weird. Like, my arm felt really weird. So please excuse those planes. I live very close to the airport. But I looked at my arm and it was swollen. So another nurse came and I told her, I said, "Something's wrong. Like, my arm doesn't feel right." And she was like, "What do you mean?" So I said, "My arm doesn't feel right. Like, it hurts and it looks a bit swollen." She looked at it. She was like, "Yeah, your IV blew. We have to do another one." She do another one. My vein collapsed. So I'm like, "Lord God, what is?" She did another one. She called somebody else. They did another one. My vein collapsed. So I'm like, "Lord Jesus, I don't know what's going on here." You guys only should have seen my hand. It looked like I was shooting needles. Like, I looked like a drug addict. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I can't do this. Like, I really can't do this." Like, I was getting so... Anyways, the contractions, them, did I get serious now? I said, "One lick me, I say. One lick me." I grab onto the bed rail and I said, "Call the anesthesiologist now." And the nurse was like, okay. So I called the anesthesiologist. She came within 5 minutes. And she was like, "Did you guys get her IV in?" And they were like, "No." She was like, "It's okay, I'll do it. But get her to the labor room first, and then I'll do it." So I remember I was in room number 1. You me know, me I tell myself all kind of things to feel better, you know. You know, room number 1 for the number 1 girl. Period. So they got me, well, before we went there, the anesthesiologist was going over everything, like, you know, what to expect and pros and cons, and me not hear nothing with the woman say. I don't hear a word with the woman say. Like, me hear her, but me not process nothing what she say. So I was, you know, so I'm a brave. I'm over here. I do the makeup with no mirror. I'm doing it in the camera. So, okay, I'm not going by. So, anyways, they moved me to the room that I would have her in, and the anesthesiologist told everybody to like leave the room because she has to do the anesthesia, the epidural. So before she did it, she looked at my hands and she was like, "Oh my God, like, look at your hands. I'm gonna give you something to numb your hands before I attempt to do this IV again." And I really appreciated that. That was so kind of her. She didn't have to. So she gave me a little numbing and did the IV, and that one was perfect. So anyways, she was like, "I'm gonna draw some more labs because the ones that they drew earlier looked weird to me, because you saw your doctor a few days ago, your labs are completely normal, and now they are significantly lower." So I'm like, "Okay, no problem." But she said, "I'm gonna do all that after I put the epidural in." Like, good idea. So anyways, we're there talking and whatever, and her phone rang, and it was like a scam likely call. So we're there just laughing about it and whatever the case might be, and that got me kind of calm. Then she was like, okay, it's time to do the epidural. Remember I told you about that little pinch? I'm not, mind you, in a minute, you know what the woman said before. So I was like, yeah. So she did it, and she was like, okay, that's the only thing you'll feel. I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. Other than that, you're gonna feel some pressure when I actually put the line in for the epidural. But other than that, that's it that you'll feel. I said, I was just so happy. And then she was like, yeah, you will get relief in about 5 minutes. That 5 minutes felt like 10 seconds. It felt like I got relief so quick. I was too happy. So anyways, I was there in the room. By this, it was about, I want to say about 1 o'clock by this. So they left me and I was there. I was talking to Ian. I was talking to my mom. She had gotten there by then. And yeah, we were just chilling. Then they came back at about 3:30, checked me again. Oh, me even got too far. Me even got too far. When I was in the first room, when I was in the intake room, before they took me to the labor room, they had to check me to make sure like I was more than 4 centimeters dilated. Guys, when I got there, I was 5 centimeters dilated. 5 centimeters dilated. Because I remember, you know, the night before, I cleaned the whole apartment. I cleaned my closet, I cleaned the baby's closet, I cleaned the entire apartment. So anyways, I was already 5 when I got there. So when they came and checked me at like 3, I was 8 centimeters dilated. And they gave me this peanut ball. It's like a little ball that's in the shape of a peanut, as the name suggests, that they put between your legs, and so it allows your cervix to continue to open freely. I was there with the peanut ball chilling. The only thing though, I didn't like how the epidural made my legs feel. Like my legs them did feel like rubber. Like I don't know. It was so weird. It was really so weird. So anyways, oh, maybe I skip only past step. For my concealer, I used the Lancome Ultra Wear High Coverage Concealer. And for my foundation, I use NARS in the shade Syracuse. And then for my face powder, I use the MAC Studio Fix. So now, did I even set my under eyes? I doubt I did. I did not. So anyways, I'm there chilling with the peanut ball and whatever. And I remember at about 6 o'clock, I told the nurse, like, I feel like I want to do a number 2. And she was like, no, don't. You know, when you feel that, well, like when it suddenly comes on, that's a contraction. And that's what we use as an indicator to tell you to push. So I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, I'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'll check you to see how far you are with the dilation, and then we'll go from there. So she came back at like 6:15 and checked, and your girl was at 10 centimeters. When I heard the words, it was time to push. I don't know, a feeling come over me, start ball. So that the midwife was like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Why are you crying? You shouldn't be in any type of pain. So I said, no, I'm not in any amount of pain. I just feel overwhelmed, because at this point, you know, everybody started coming in. So there were 3 nurses for the baby, like 2 or 3 nurses for me, the midwife, the person, the tech with all the tools. And I'm just like, then mommy, she in the kind of Jesus, 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 Jesus. I was so overwhelmed, like. Anyways, you never hear me not one time say my water broke. My water did not break. They had to break it. So when they broke the water, no, and I was like, oh my God, she's going to come. This little girl who has been kicking me for the whole 3rd trimester, she was in my right rib. this little girl that smiled at me on her ultrasound, that I could see drinking her amniotic fluid on the sonogram. I'm really about to meet her. Like, it's an overwhelming feeling. I think all parents can relate. All moms can relate. So anyways, I'm there and they're like, okay, whenever you feel the urge to do the number 2, you push. I said, me no know when me the going at the people in place. I think say me have to go on my belly and push my belly, or I have to use some other core muscles or what to push. No, if you feel like you want to poop, you poop. Those are the muscles you use to deliver your baby. Shock. Anyways, after like 10 minutes of pushing, I'm there. The midwife was like, okay, I'm gonna have you tilt to the side, tilt towards me. So I'm looking to my left now, and I'm looking at the monitor, and I see that my vital signs were stable. So I'm like, I looked at the baby, so mine was on top, the baby was below. I looked at the baby, I'm like, why is her oxygen levels falling? And the nurse looked at me, looked at the other nurse, like, oh, she know this. So she was like, the baby, I was like, is she in distress? She was like, a little bit, but she just wants to come out. A little bit? She just wants to go. Not that my baby in a distress. Not that. Child, 2 more pushes and my baby was out. Me never. 2 more pushes and she was out. Anyways, she came out and I heard her little cry. Hey, I missed that ball when I heard her little cry. But my girl came out like mean mugging. She opened her eyes immediately and she was just looking around like mean mugging. So they took her to her little bed and then they weighed her, all that, got her cleaned up, did her APGAR, all that. My girl had perfect scores for both her APGARs. Then they got me, they were getting everything sorted down there, and they put her on my chest, and the feeling of her on my chest and her grabbing me and her getting calm from hearing my heartbeat is next to none. Next to none. So anyways, we got cleaned up, both of us got cleaned up, was there for a little bit. They tried, lactation came and was helping me with her latching on, and then we got to our room. We got a really nice room, and so we were there. We spent 24 hours. May I tell you, the first night after me up all day, laboring, I could not sleep. I looked at her the entire night, and they came for her at like 2 a.m. to give her a bath. So Amy to the lady, I'm a first time mom, and I just really want to come with you to see what you do so I can have an idea of what to do myself when I get home. I just never want my baby out of my sight. I never want my baby out of my sight. So I'm there like, look my Ian. I thought he was sleeping. Every move we made, boss jump up. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna get her a bath, blah blah blah. And by this time, my legs, they woke up, but they weren't fully awake. So I took my little time and walked, got her bath, took her back, and may I tell you, like, I just stared at her the entire night. The next day, no, because they have to check everything. So we had probably 3 nurses each. So I had 3 nurses, she had 3 nurses interchanging. The pediatrician came, the anesthesiologist came, they came to do her vision test, her hearing test. They came, checked my belly multiple times, gave me the stool softener and painkillers, came with paperwork. So every time they locked me I go sleep, I had to wake up. I'm just happy. Well, I'm happy they didn't come like a lot during the night, which was the time I should have slept. But I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. Excitement for my belly, I could not sleep. But after 24 hours, we were discharged and we came home, and life has been so different, was so meaningful ever since. So thank you for stopping by and listening to my birth story. comment below. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about any part about, you know, what I spoke about, or if you have any questions about something, you know, that happened with you that you never heard me say, share it. Let me know. Let me know how your experience was. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, share it with a mother that's expecting probably, or somebody that just had a baby. I feel like it's good to hear like similar stories, you know. So thank you for watching again, guys. See you on Sunday.